And the August Writing Challenge, which is also sort of turned into the Podcasting Challenge, continues today with how you can build momentum for your business. If you're going to open a new store in your local town, or maybe you live in the big city and you're going to open up a shop, beneath the bank building or whatever, how would you do it? And let's assume for a second that you already have a business plan, you already have startup capital, and you already have a fantastic idea will work. If you did have all of those things, your next moves might look like what we're going to talk about today, because there's ways that you can build momentum with a brand new business. I do these things, or I did these things, I still do these things in my online business, and it's not really all that different than how you would build a successful offline business. So whatever you're doing, whether you're a dentist, a doctor, you make donuts, or you're going to open up a bakery, or you're going to start selling steaks, here are some things that you can do to build momentum with your beginner business. Okay, one of the first things that you would do is you'd scope out a few locations and choose one that's the right size and that will get some decent foot traffic. And as they say in real estate, it's all about location, location, location. Do you ever watch Cheers? I'm going to sidetrack here for just a second. Do you ever watch Cheers? My wife and I are going back and watching all of them. They're all on Netflix. And somewhere, I don't know, season 6, 7, whatever we're on, someone is looking at Woody, played by Woody Harrelson. It's Frasier. And he says, as they say, the top 3 reasons or the top 3 key things or whatever in real estate are location, location, location. And Woody says, that's just one thing. And he's like, yeah, I know. And Woody's like, well, what are the other 2 things? And Frasier says something to the effect of, well, that's all 3 things. And Woody's like, well, that's just one thing. Real estate, you just said one thing. And he's like, well, what did we learn from this? And Woody says something to the effect of, well, that real estate agents can't spell or can't count, something like that. It's pretty funny. I didn't tell it very well. But it's about location, location, location. Once you figured that out, the next thing that you would do is you would begin to design the floor space to attract business. There's a place here in Georgetown, just north of the house here a little bit, and they've got a great location right on the square, dark hardwood floors, but they've got to fill that space in a way that when you walk into the store, you're welcomed. You feel safe, feel like you can find what you're looking for, feel like they won't, scam you out of your money. There are things that we want to feel when we walk into a place. We want to know what kind of products that they sell. And third, you would buy inventory, you would develop your marketing plan, and you would begin the process of hiring your staff. Well, since your business is likely online, you don't really need those things like real estate, shelves, and inventory. Well, actually you do. You might already have the digital equivalent or the comparable parallel of those things without even know it, or without even you knowing it. You might have a domain, which is your location. You might have signed up with your web host, which is the right size. You don't need to pay $200 a month for a dedicated server when you're just starting out. And now you're designing the layout or the floor space or the equivalent of the floor space for your site to get subscribers, to build trust, and to let people who come onto your site know you have something to sell. To get started and moving forward and building momentum, a physical store can open their doors, they can put up signs, they can start offering samples, but as online entrepreneurs, we can't do that. Or can we? And that's what we want to talk about today. Wow, your website looks great. Designing a great-looking website that looks good and functions properly on any device isn't easy. But in 8 weeks to exit, I will share all of the tools that I use and show you exactly how to do it. Over the past several years, I've built dozens of websites. I know what to do, how to do it, what plugins to use, and which ones to avoid. From the very beginning, you will know you got set up the right way. Check out 8weekstoexit.com for more details. Okay, here's how to build momentum with your beginner business. Momentum in your business isn't built with one product launch that amazes people so much that they become loyal buyers for life. One event will not build momentum. You build momentum every time you talk to someone who fits the profile of your ideal client. You build momentum every time you share your message with someone who needs to hear it. You build momentum with every blog post you publish, YouTube video you upload, or podcast like this one you produce that solves a problem that people are having. Okay, blogging and talking to people are great, but I want to make money. I hear you. Well, after you've refined your message and started narrowing your focus, you can really take your blog or your online business to the next level, and you can see the transformation that you've been looking for. But again, I started that sentence with you've got to refine your message and narrow your focus. When you're trying to build your online business, releasing a $10 product is one of the best things you can do to build momentum. And that's it. That's the key. Building a business starts with releasing an introductory product so that people can test what you have to offer, see the quality of your work, see that you can accept a payment and deliver a product. It's just basic trust, a transaction, because a lot of people fail at that online. And releasing a $10 product is one of the best things that you can do. Content marketing is a great way to start, but a $10 product does 4 things that build momentum in your business. 4 things content marketing alone cannot provide. And I'm a big fan of content marketing. You know that. But there's something that happens when you create an entry-level product. And we're going to talk about those 4 reasons right now. Number 1, your entry-level product tells the world who you are. Number 2, it creates a stepping stone. Number 3, it provides a quick win-win. That's a win-win. Let me slow that down. Number 4, it helps you generate momentum. Actually, all of those things help you build momentum when you are just starting out. These 4 things, the ones I just said, are important because they are what bridge the gap between blogger and entrepreneur. They bridge the gap between blogger and entrepreneur, between hobbyist and business owner. Not all bloggers are businesses, and that's fine. If you don't want to do that, if you don't want to make money with your blog, that's totally fine. And there are ways through affiliate marketing and some of the other, starting a hosting business or doing fulfillment by Amazon where you don't actually have to create your own products, and that's totally fine. But if you've made it this far, you're pretty focused on transforming your blog into a business. And I should highlight this text on the post, but if you want to sign up for my email course, it's the 30-day blog transformation, and it is how to transform your blog into a business. And there's a private Facebook group specifically for that too. Just go to ElleryWells.com/build momentum, and you can find the notes for this episode here, the one we're talking through, and the link to the 30-day blog transformation. It's right above the first number 1, which is where we're going right now. Your product tells the world who you are. Anyway, take a closer look at that. And we're going to go through each one of these 4 reasons to create an entry-level product and how they will help you build momentum in your business in detail right now. Number 1, your product tells the world who you are. When you publish your first blog post, nobody knows who you are. When you go to a new town and you want to set up shop and you want to open up your door and you're starting your own business, Joe's Place or Ellery's Meat Thing or whatever. I couldn't come up with anything clever. Unless you're borrowing the brand of somebody else, nobody will know who you are. Like every other business, you face the universal business challenge, the number 1 thing small businesses face and struggle with and probably puts them out of business. You will face that too. And that thing is obscurity. It's a hard word to say sometimes. Obscurity. Nobody knows who the heck you are. Visitors may stumble upon your blog because one of your friends shared a link on Facebook, but they still don't know who you are, what you stand for, or even if you can produce quality of work. Since you don't have a physical store when you're online, assuming you're online, visitors can't browse or try on new clothes, and you can't hand out taste samples. Customers who are on the fence about spending money with you will likely want to test drive before going in. Well, you can provide taste samples. And sometimes you can allow them to try on new clothes. Amazon's doing some crazy stuff with that. But someone was in town this past weekend, and she bought something online and it ended up coming from China, and she got the wrong size, and it cost her as much to ship it as it did for the dress. I don't know how much the dress cost or how much it actually cost to ship her. That sounds a little bit crazy, but the sizing charts were wrong. If you want to have people comfortable with buying online with you, make sure your sizing charts are accurate. But that's probably a sidetrack. I don't know how many of you are selling clothes online. But providing samples and sharing your beliefs with the world builds momentum in your business. Hey, this is what I stand for. This is who I am. This is the quality of product that we produce. Number 2, your product. Your entry-level product is a stepping stone. More people buy a copy of Exit Strategy than who apply for a mastermind program. And more people enroll in one of my mastermind programs than hire me as their coach. A $10 product serves to whet an appetite for more. So you have a $10 product, or $15.99 if you buy it on Amazon. That introduces somebody to your worldview, your philosophy. In an upcoming episode of the Ellery Wells Show, I talked to Cole Hatter, who is the founder of Thrive, Make Money Matter, one of the top conferences probably in the world, and one of my favorites. And one of the reasons why he keeps the price so low is he wants people to come and hear the way that he sees the world. Of course, he has fantastic speakers. You're going to want to listen to that episode. It's pretty amazing. But that's why he keeps the price low, to come and see all of these amazing speakers, get a hotel room in Vegas this year, for example, because he wants people to come and hear his worldview. And that is, you can make a lot of money and you can make a difference and you can give back. So stay tuned to that episode, because a low-cost product allows people to get into your ecosystem. It gets them and invites them into your environment and whets that appetite, so they keep coming back and wanting more. So here's another example. So I gave you the example of Exit Strategy, masterminds, and coaching. I gave you the example of Cole and the low price to go to the Thrive conference. Let me give you a third one. If you were scoping out a new restaurant to cater your next dinner party, do we have dinner parties anymore, or do we just call them like, I want to say Netflix and chill, but that I think has a different connotation to the youths today. Anyway, if you're going to have a new restaurant cater your next party, you'd probably not pick one without tasting it before your big day. In all likelihood, you would try a sample. If they offered you one, you would go for lunch, and if you liked it, then you would bring a friend who could provide another opinion. Then and only then, assuming you liked the sample, you enjoyed your meal, and you also got positive feedback from your friend, only then would you decide to place the failure or success of your party in front of all of your friends and family on the food of that new restaurant. A small sale leads to a bigger sale, and that will build momentum in your business. Number 3, your product, your entry-level product, is a quick win, and quick wins build momentum. If you can solve someone's problem, you have an obligation to share your solution with them. No, you don't have to give it away for free. If someone is bored and you've built a game or written some fun music, you can solve their problem of boredom by offering your product. If someone has a flat tire and is in need of some help, you can alleviate their frustration by offering your service. Entrepreneurs see the needs people have, and they find a way to meet them. Not only is that statement the basis of all entrepreneurship, but it helps you determine your first product. If you see a need, meet it. A problem solved is a win for the customer. Getting paid is a win for you. In other words, let me instead of a short sentence, let me make it a little bit longer and a little bit clearer. Solving a problem gets you paid. Getting paid means you can stay in business, and staying in business means you can keep Guess what? Solving problems. It's a circle. And obviously that builds great momentum for your business. Number 4, your product builds, guess what? Much needed momentum. After you sell your first product or sign your first client, it's all downhill from there. Well, sorta. You can't sign your second client until you've signed your first one. You can't make your 100th dollar until you've made your first 10. I've talked about this on the blog, but when you're first starting, you need quick wins, and you need to prove to yourself that achieving your dreams is possible. And after you've proven it to yourself, you can start to prove it to other people. One thing leads to another, and every bit of progress you make early builds and builds and builds. So whatever business you're in, think about what you can do to lower the barrier between someone thinking about hiring you and actually hiring you and giving you money. Think about what you can do to get them into your ecosystem and have them experience what you are all about. And that's where I ended most of the content on the blog. So this is a bonus just for podcast listeners. One of the things that I'm really concerned with my web services business, where we build websites, where I think we might stop providing hosting, but we also do sales funnels and landing pages and all kinds of things to help entrepreneurs get started and grow online. One of my strategies is to get people into my ecosystem with something small. Let me just provide you with a little bit of hosting. Let me build one email funnel for you. Let me do one service for you so that you can see the quality of work that we do as a company. You learn about our belief systems. You understand what WYSIWYG stands for, and you see what we're all about as a small business. And then once you've seen those things, we'll upsell you to the $300, $400, $500 a month or $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 products. I get people into my ecosystem. That's how I put this into practice. On the blog, on ElleryWells.com, I want people coming back and reading. I want people to sign up for free emails and tools and resources via email. Then I want to sell them a $10 product. My $10 product, I've got a few, but most recently, exit strategy, and then maybe a mastermind. Or if you don't want $150 or $200 a month or a $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 coaching package, you could sign up for 8 weeks to exit for $500 right now. It's going to go up, but you see how this is a stair step and how this actually makes a whole lot of sense. Mentioned the food and how you might have somebody over for a dinner party. So let me give you a more practical example. I always talk about, I talk about food quite a bit, but I always talk about Panda Express because it's a fairly common example. Most people understand what kind of restaurant they are. You walk into the mall. They give you their best stuff. It is the hot and fresh orange chicken on a toothpick. They don't give you yesterday's chicken, do they? No, they give you their best stuff. So you go and you grab one off a toothpick. Maybe you grab a second or third one. You're like, oh man, this is absolutely fantastic. Not everybody who grabs a toothpick buys lunch. That's the key as well. Not everybody who you give value to will come back and spend money with you, and that's all right. Because how many of those people do you have to have come buy a $10 or $12 lunch, a meat, 2 meats, and 2 sides and a drink before you are profitable on all of the free chicken that you gave away? 1? 2? Okay, so you get your free sample. You go and you buy a $10 or $12 lunch. You're like, man, that's good. I'm going to go back. And all of a sudden, let's say Thanksgiving's coming up and you want Asian food in front of your entire family. So you're like, hey, mom or sis, let's go and see what kind of options they have for catering. You don't go from free sample to spending $200 or $300 to feed your entire family when everybody's come in from out of town, right? You get your sample, you go for lunch, you bring somebody else, and you say, hey, I'm thinking about having this food for Thanksgiving dinner. What do you think? Oh, I think that's a good idea. Or no, I think maybe we should check out this other place. Do you see how that's a logical progression? That's a real world example, and I've provided you a couple of my examples. What are you doing to build momentum in your business? What is your $10 product? Go to ElleryWells.com/buildmomentum. I think I spelled it right. MOMENTUM. Yeah. Go to build momentum. Tell me what your $10 product is. If you have one, link to it. I'd love to check it out and see what you are all about. And as always, if you are interested in learning more about WordPress, SEO, how to get started online, or you've already gotten started online, but you're not really happy with the SEO that you've done, your design's not all that fantastic, and you're looking for ways how a professional web designer builds websites, check out 8 8weekstoexit.com. That's the number 8, and you spell out TO, 8weekstoexit.com, and enroll for that program. I think it's going to be fantastic. And if you've listened to this far, you're pretty sure I know what I'm talking about. Am I right? Anyway, I hope you're having an awesome day. Go to go to 8weekstoexit.com, or you can go to ellery.wells.com/build momentum to see all the notes for this content and to leave a comment about your $10 product. I'd love to check it out. From Round Rock, Texas, I'm your host, Ellery Wells. Have an awesome day.